Hey, it's working. Hi Cal, how you going? Hi everyone, how you doing? Hey Tez, how are you, bud? Now, that gentleman that was here the other day from Texas that's going fishing, I tried to do a a YouTube segment as promised, but I couldn't get my green screen to work, so I thought I'd just come out and do it live. Coffee, yeah, I just had coffee. I've now got my sausage roll, which is a great Australian institution, so all good. Hey Tez, how you going? Oh, so what I've done is I've brought down some 80-pound Andy, I've brought down some Braid, and I've also brought down some 130. Hey Coho Warren, how are you, bud? Yeah, but today what we're going to do, mate, is I'm going to show people how to do a few knots, Coho. Alright, so yeah, I'm just coming down here to chill out. We'll be down the beach, if not tomorrow morning, definitely Tuesday morning and probably Wednesday morning, okay? What the hell was that? Hey Aussie Welsh, how are you, bud? Welcome, mate. Welcome everyone, thanks for tuning in. Alright, so I've got me clippers there. The hell's this? Hopefully this works. Hey Nacho Pants, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see so many familiar faces in here. Yes, I've had me coffee. I'm just having this sausage roll. And then we'll do some fishing. Welcome, Nacho. Yeah, Nacho, you too, mate. How are you, bud? What's going on? How are the Raiders going? We've had a bit of hot weather today, so hopefully we'll get them on the bite. Hey, John Bear, how are you, bud? Excellent, everything's stable. All right, so it's not quite low tide and it's not quite high tide, so we should be okay. Sith Ural, how are you, mate? Loey, do you remember the username of that gentleman from Texas the other day that was asking about knots? Pete, was it Pete? Can't remember. How are you, Sith? What's going on? How's your weekend been, bud? Been doing much? Everyone's safe in this lockdown where you are in your world? Yeah. Well, hopefully he comes in because I've got everything ready. Having a beer, nice one. Hey Renee, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. All right, let's get a bait on. Oh. In Texas, okay, Sith, excellent. Hey, Nachos, how far are you from the really bad lockdown area in New South, mate? Jacob, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Yeah, we're just chilling out. No pressure, Jacob. You know what it's like, enjoying our environment. Fishing, Eddie, how are you, bud? Good to see you in here, mate. Nice to see so many familiar faces. Oh, Mephisto, how are you, bud? A 2-hour drive, but still that's too close, isn't it, mate? Wow. Okay, fam, so the bait we're using today is a West Australian pilchard. Okay. No introduction needed. Now, oh, well done. That's good to hear, mate. So, working from home. Excellent. Good on you, pal. Oh, thanks, mate. Now, people, we'll be doing a morning stream this week at some stage. I've got to show you the new streaming setup, famo. Centimetre perfect, that one. Absolutely centimetre perfect, brilliant. Nice. Hey Gav, how are you, mate? Yeah, good, bud, you too. Probably need to just do this, I think. Let's bring this over here, like that. Hey there, laser focusing. Yeah. Oh, no worries, laser. How are you, bud? Welcome, mate. Excuse me. So, is that charging or not? Let's have a look. Wow, that is charging. Really quickly. You know what amazes me, famo? Right? No, Jacob, the boat went back as part of the sponsorship, but we renewed the sponsorship, mate. So, unfortunately, with COVID, the rest of the world is sort of on its knees, and we're doing okay here, but obviously, with people not working in warehouses and transport and that, supply is a big issue at the moment. So what we will be doing is we're taking a new leap forward with the stream. We're going to be doing live boat reviews, okay, which aren't too far off. That nearly went across the river, fam. I've actually cast that. That's a good cast. About 8 feet to the right of the other one, but that's going to present an issue in itself, because if we do hook something, one of these is going to have to get reeled in before we let the other one go. So, all right. Oh, so let's zoom this in a bit and see how that goes. And that way we can do the knot tying as well. No, Nacho, see, this is a special type of shirt. This is the it was on special shirt. Hey Paul, how are you, bud? Oh yeah, we will do, Jacob, but like I said, mate, you know, some people have been waiting 6 months for parts with boats and that sort of stuff, so things are pretty tough, mate, you know. Nah, this is the height of fashion in my neck of the woods. Nacho pants, and has been since 1915, I think. So if you want a good thing to it, stick to it, you know. Doc, how are you, bud? Yeah, really good, Nacho. We're up over the 700 hour mark, so we've got less than 3,300 hours to go. And to stream on, the difference between YouTube and Twitch is Mozzies. 180, 830, well, at least it's down from 881. So on Twitch you need 75 average viewers, and all the other stuff on YouTube, you've got to have 4,000 watched hours in 1 year and over 1,000 subscribers. You need 1,000 subscribers to live stream. Yeah, big difference in the platform, mate, you know. Yeah. We still have a few people that come in that take about 3 hours to watch 60 minutes, but hey, gives them something to do, and it gives us numbers, mate. So it suits me fine. Love it. Yeah. So just makes all the hours go up quicker, Nachos, you know. But yeah, it is, and yeah, it's really good. The other good thing about it too is that YouTube opens far more doors, and Twitch really does have a bad rep, pal. So, hey, that's the way, Paul. Yeah, Twitch really does have a bad rep, mate. So, yeah, and Nachos, our partnership goes back on the 23rd of December. So on the 23rd of December, there won't be any more purple tick next to the name. Yeah, that's right, Jacob. They do. So anytime anyone watches any content on the channel, it adds to the tally. So, yeah, it's all good. And I mean, like, for example, a gentleman that was in the chat the other day from Texas that's going fishing soon, I promised him a, I promised him that I would do a video on knot tying, and I couldn't get my green screen to work, so I thought I'd just do it live, you know what I mean? And then that way we can just show people do the knot tying live. It'll be a lot clearer, and I don't have to worry about sitting in, you know, a room with a light and that sort of stuff, you know what I mean? So yeah, it just makes it better, and it shows that we know what we're doing, which helps. So when that gentleman comes in, although I might even just do the knot tying here and then work from there. So yeah, And hopes everything's good with you, nachos. All right. Hope everything is absolutely spot on. You know what's funny, fam? Recently we got the PS5, and it's amazing the difference in the quality with the cables and that you get with the PS5 to the stuff that you buy off the shelf. Yeah, but you got Velcros. Oh, that's why. Say hello to your mum, Nacho, okay? Just tell her you've been behaving yourself and I'll vouch for you like I always do. Excellent, 20 people viewing, lovely. Thanks very much for the support, everyone. And this is the best way to support the stream. Just watch it, okay? Manzi, how are you, buddy? Oh, Streamlabs is a bit nasty. Hey Ross, how are you, bud? Yeah, it's all good, mate. Just put a couple of baits in the water, and what I'm going to do is a couple of live knot tying streams. Okay, so I just want to show everyone how to join braid to monofilament. A lot of people have been asking. That's how it goes, nachos. All right, so, and this is good because I can edit this out of the video later. The knot that I use to join braid to monofilament for a leader, and I've been using for about 30 years. There were a few. The first one, hey Cal Scott, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. What's going on? You well? Cartoon Head 101. How are you, brother? What's going on, mate? You safe down there in lockdown in good old Vic? What? You drank till 6 a.m. this morning? Mate, what's wrong with you? You serious? Only 6 a.m.? Cartoon Head? You're getting old, mate. Seriously. The old Cartoon Head that I knew, 6 a.m. was nothing. 6 a.m. was an appetizer. Okay? I think you're losing your touch, mate. Better ring the nursing home and book in now. Start drinking sherry and get the training in, you know? Yeah, well, I mean, Cartoon Head didn't want to ruin a really nice dawn by going to sleep, did he? Lamb roast in the oven? Ah, Cartoon Head, look at you. Hey, there's always an incentive, isn't there? All right, mate, so what we've got here is we've got the knot that I use to join braid to monofilament, okay? So when you've got I'm using orange braid and yellow line, what I'll do is I'll cut that and show everyone how to do it. It's actually a very, very easy knot, okay? So when tying knots like this, you've got to remember we're dealing with two different types of materials here. So monofilament, okay? What is the main? I think is it nylon? I don't know. But anyway, fishing line, the normal fishing line, the mono, okay? And braid have two properties that make them a little bit hard to join. So there's quite a few different ways you can join braid to monofilament. Me personally, I always like to use a loop when I'm joining braid to monofilament, okay? Because I have never had a loop fail on me that was tied properly. Notice how I said tied properly there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pick this one apart, and then I'm going to put it all back together again, and away we go. I actually tied that one a bit too well. For those of you that don't know how to do a Bimini Twist, right? A Bimini Twist is basically a loop that you make in your line. You don't even need to use a Bimini Twist, really. What you can do is you can do any loop, as long as you've got a loop tied to your line, okay? So, What I'm going to do is going to do a really oversized Bimini twist here. Okay, let's just drop this down a bit. There, like so. Maybe I can use, I don't know. I could probably use, okay. So watch this, Famo. Let's use that. Okay. So when you're doing your Bimini twist, basically what you do is you fold your line over. This is a 130 pound Dacron, which is going to make it much easier for me to show you how to do the knot. Okay. So what we've done is we've wrapped the line around itself about 30 times, right? Now, let me just get this sorted though. Dacron has different properties to braid as well, because Dacron has like a hollow core. So I will do this again and show you, right? This is what you use to do your wind on leaders and all that sort of stuff. Dacron's the stuff that's been around for years, fam. Okay, so we'll go through it all again and I'll show you how to do it. Braid has no stretch, so it's actually quite easy to do knots with, all right? So we're going to do that. Now we'll do it like that. That's good. Okay. Easy nacho pants, because if you want a PS5 nachos, I'll organise you one. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Right, so let's just bring this back a bit. Let's turn it down a notch, as they say in the classics. I don't know what sort of classic, but anyway. Right, so we're just going to wind this back up here, like so. Get it far enough back so that I can put it over my esky lid. Okay, so this is how you do a Bimini twist, fam. What you've got to do, okay, is you've got to work with the tension in your line. Okay, so what we do is we just bring this back here. See how we form like the little like triangle? And what you've got to do is you'll eventually reach a point with your line where you bring it back far enough so that it wants to twist. Okay, no. So then what you do is you start turning your line over the joins that you've made like that, and what it does is you just weave it around like this, see? And I'm using a 130 pound Dacron so you can see it, but it's actually harder to do on a 130 pound Dacron than braid, because this is stretchy and twisty. Okay, so let's bring this back here. Okay, get back in there. Right, so then what we do is, okay, bring that back through here like that, and you wrap that around the twist that you put in the line. Okay, now with the Bimini twist, right, there is a little trick to it. So when you get back to the V, like here, see how we've got the V here, right? What you need to do is you need to set the knot. The best way to do that, see how we've got two different tags here? You go over there, bring that through there, and what that does is that sets the knot in place on one of the loops, see? So now that's good, it's not going to unravel, right? And then what you do is you throw it over the other one, and what we have there is we've locked the knot on both sides, okay? Like that. And then what we do now is we need to just finish it in the middle. So what we've done is we've locked it on this side, locked it on that side. Now we need to lock both. So 1, 2, 3, like this. Okay. Through there. And when you do knots, Famo, don't rush with your knots. Just take your time, right? Make sure the knots are formed perfectly, because this is the last thing that's going to save you with your fish. Okay, see that? How I've just joined that there? Whammo. So what we've done now is, with a little bit of patience, okay, and a little bit of care, what I've done, right, is finish that off there and just cut that there. Right, so what I have here, right, is I have a Bimini twist, see that? So what we've got is we've got a beautifully formed knot around all the twists that we put in the line, see that there? Okay, See how that's cushioned and everything? And then what you have is you have the loop coming off like that. So what we've effectively done in the field is we formed a double. Right, now I'm hoping this works. Now what you do is, when you want to join, so think this is braid, okay? Unfortunately, Dacron has a hollow core, so this is what you use to do your wind-on leaders. Look, see that? See how I can push that in and it expands? And then this is the old Chinese finger torture. Remember they used to do the tricks where you'd put the fingers in there and then you'd go to pull them out and it would like grip on? They just use Dacron, see? All right, so what we're going to do now is, this is 80 pound Andy, okay? To join braid to monofilament, just put that around there once, twice. I don't know whether this is going to work with the Dacron, but I just wanted to show you the Bimini. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jason, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Let's bring that through there. That might work actually, which will be a pleasant change. So what's going to happen is here, I want to form an even loop, right? So we'll bring that back through here like that. Just make sure that it's starting to form. This one should be okay, I think. Let's go. Come on. Nah. Sorry, nachos, but that's Streamlabs for you, mate. So a little bit militant, isn't it? Yeah. Right. And then what will happen is, as you can see here, see how the monofilament's starting to wrap around the braid that you formed there? Right. Nah, he's a professional, nachos. Right, he's a professional. Don't swear at him like that. All right. Sometimes I think Cartoon Head is Chad Morgan's secret love child. For those of you who know who Chad Morgan is. Nah, it's not going to work with the Dacron. We'll just see if it does though. No, that's going to pull through because of the coating. All right, so what we'll do now is I'll show you a Bimini Twist that I've already done with the braid. Okay, then I'll show you how to join that. And what I'll do is I might even do a join. A whiskey. What's your poison, nachos? Which whiskey? Was that the rod tip going off there? I'm a champion at not watching the rod tip when it goes off. All right. So now what we'll do is we'll do one with braid and I'll show you the difference, okay? Braid is totally different because it's got zero stretch, right? It's actually quite limp, okay? And you can tie braid a lot easier than Dacron. You don't really join Dacron how I joined it there. So let's bring this down here again like that. Okay. Right. So we've done about 30 loops there. See how this has no stretch in it? And it's far easier to manage, but you won't be able to see what I'm doing here as this is only 20 pound braid or 30 pound braid or whatever it is. So, and if you can do a Bimini Twist with Dacron, you'll be able to do a Bimini Twist with braid every single day of the week, okay? So what we've done, I'm using the esky there. How Australian's this? There's no beer in this, which is very un-Australian, but hey, that's what happens when you're a goat herder. Right, so you push back on the V once it's locked in, right? And then you just gently get your little tag end, right? And wrap it around the knots that the twist that you've made in your line till it hits the two sides of the loop there. Okay, so reach through here. So like I said to you before, we're going to finish one side off there and lock it in. Lock the other side in like that. Okay, yep, beautiful. Lock the other side in like that. See a Cartoon Head? Yep, and Cartoon Head, bless him, gave up drinking when guzzling came in, fam. 1, 2, 3. Right, so now we've done the Bimini on the braid. Okay, let's put that over there and we're all good to go. So see that? That's a, whoops. That's a braid line that we've done a Bimini with there. Okay, so this will actually work now. Right, so there we go. So what we have is we have a really well tied Bimini twist there. See the knot there? Okay. And then we've got a nice long tag end. The good thing about a Bimini twist with braid is when you do it, okay, it doesn't impact your line going through the guides either towards the reel or out when you're casting. Alrighty. What did I tread on there? Now, what I've got here is some 14-pound fluorocarbon, like that. Fluorocarbon is a hardened monofilament. Okay, so it's very simple. The hard bit is doing the Bimini twist, okay? So first thing you want to do is you want to get the 2 tag ends or the loops the same length, okay? So you get that through there and you just leave yourself a little loop like that. What you do is, right, you get the braid, you put it over your mono, simple as crossing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. See, I've got a little tag end sticking out. Then you just put the line through that little tag end. Right, come on, mate. And what'll happen is, eventually, well, hopefully, it should do, right? See how you've got the monofilament wrapped around the braid there, see? Now, sometimes, so see that's through there, okay? What I do as a bit of insurance, and just from experience previously, what I do is I'll always do a little triple hitch on the monofilament side like this, okay? Like that. There we go. There we are. So what we've got now, that little triple hitch afterwards, that's insurance. Okay, in the early days when braid was not really agreeing with monofilament, a couple of times when I didn't do this knot properly, it let go. Okay, and now what's happened is, see how that's a beautiful little join there? Right, there we go, good. All right, and that's not going to let go in a month of Sundays. Alrighty. And then just a little dollop of super glue on there, and you're right as rain. I'm just going to cut this now because I don't want to waste the braid, and I don't want to waste I don't want to waste fluorocarbon, as it's really expensive. You know, 50 cents a linear metre. Whew! It's nearly as bad as copper wire. And I mean, I've cut that and the knot's still held, so that shows that we've done it properly. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another way to join braid to monofilament. One of the easiest ways, if you're not too confident with your knots, And you can do this join with braid to monofilament, monofilament to monofilament, however you want to do it, right? Okay, so what you can do is you can do what's known as a double uni join. But the biggest problem with that is, from experience, if you've got 30-pound braid and you've got, say, a 40-pound leader, the knot will let go at about 20 pounds of pressure. Okay, so you've got to be really careful with that. It's not really considered a good way to join the two like different types of lines together, but hey, if you don't have any options, you don't have any options, don't you? So just going to put this, I mean, this is 50 meters of fluorocarbon. Oh no, this one's not too bad. It's 100 meters of fluorocarbon for $25. That's 25 cents a linear meter. Right, so over a long time it adds up. Now, I'll show you how to do this double uni knot join, okay? I'll just cut this. So, with a double uni knot join, what we'll do, okay, is we'll get some of this 80-pound Andy, which is about $1 a metre nearly, right? But if you want quality, people, you just got to buy American, don't you? And Andy is a company that's been around for a long time and holds the most records in the IGFA, okay? So, we're going to join, think this is braid, right, and monofilament. So with a double uni knot, it's quite simple. With the uni knot, and when you tie your knots, you've got the top of your line and the bottom of your line, and if you look down at it, you've got the left and the right hand side. So go over, left, under, right, bring it back like that. 1, 2, 3. So what you do there, okay, I'll show you again in slow motion this time. Chuck that over there. So what we do here, right, that's your monofilament, and this is Dacron, but think it's braid. So you go over and you form a little loop like that, and then you just pinch it in your non-preferred hand. And what that does, see how we've got the loop, hey Daz, we've got the loop sort of parallel to the monofilament, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? And see how I'm not rushing the knot. Now see how that's formed absolutely perfectly there with the Dacron? Right, I didn't rush the knot. Okay, see how that's formed there? So that's locked in the Dacron onto the monofilament. Okay, so now what you do is you return the favour on the other side, okay, and you grab the mono. So you form a little loop, left, over, right, under. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, whoops. Now, see, this is a problem with Dacron. It's a bit twisty, but that's all right. I think that ended up being about 9 loops. So let's just get that to bind in now. Come on. So what we're doing here is, see how I've done the 2 knots? That's the monofilament one. Hey Jai, how are you, mate? No, I've just cast them in there. We're doing some more knot tying today. So see how we've got the monofilament one there, and we've got the Dacron, or think it's braid there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to slide that down. Okay. And eventually the 2 knots are going to hit like that. All right. So what we've got is we've got the braid and the monofilament that are bunting up against one another, right? So let's try and find something really, let's test it. let's go and just form a little loop in the end, right? And we'll see how strong it is. Alrighty. Alright, we'll just form a little loop there. We'll chuck this on here, like so. And that's a 130 pound Dacron. I mean, I'm leaning back on this. Look, I'll wind it right up, ready? See, I'm leaning back on that. Hopefully it doesn't let go. So that's a good join. You can hear the line tensioning on the spool. Oh. And then what you do, once the knots are locked in, because you've always got to lock your knots in before you cut the tag in, fam. Now you can tell that's sort of bedded in on itself, okay, because the knot started to curve. So here, like that. And away you go. Oh, it's just, the only difference between an expert, Cal, and a beginner is an expert's already made their mistakes. Seriously, you know, there's no real right or wrong with fishing. Anyway, you know what I mean? You've just got to sort of give yourself a chance. So what we've got here, see that? You've got the knots absolutely bedded in on each other there. Okay? And if you were fishing deep sea and you wanted to put a leader on heavy line and then join that to your rigs, okay, that's the way you do it. So, what's this going to do? Let's chuck it on here. I'll actually show you that tension in there, right? So can you see this? Let's get that in there. Yep, that should be enough. That's on the corner of the ute. Can you hear the tension in that? Just listen, I'll put the microphone close. Just listen to the tension in that. Ready? That's exactly how hard I'm pulling on that. Can you hear the tension? All right. And that's not letting go. And that is not even really designed to join braid or monofilament and that together. But one of the secrets is too, if you're going to fish with like 30 pound leader, you do that with like 30 pound braid as well, or you use 20 pound braid, sorry. What the hell was that word? So what that does is you've got two lines together that are, hey Stephen, how are you, bud? Yeah, you use two lines. Forget breaking strain, think diameter, right? So what you've got there, okay, is you've got 80 pound Andy and 130 pound Dacron. Over those poundages, you can get away with it because they're quite heavy. Yeah, thanks, Stephen. I hope you're safe and well and the family's safe from lockdown wherever you are, mate. When you start getting down to like 50 pound to 80 pound, 30 pound to 50 pound, and 20 pound to say 50 pound, that's when you start having a few headaches. Okay? All right. And you've just got to try and make it as easy for yourself as possible. Okay? Now I'm going to cut that. And what I'm going to do is when I go home, I'm going to edit this video and do a little video of this for the gentleman that wanted to see it. Okay? And that's basically done. So the other one that you saw, that's the double uni knot join. Okay? Now there is one other that I'd like to show you, right? And I'm going to be able to show you this with the other Bimini Twist that I had. Okay, so this is a Bimini Twist that I prepared earlier. This is actually my preferred way to join braid to monofilament. Unfortunately, out in the field, it's a bit difficult. especially if you're in a boat that's rocking up and down and that sort of stuff. But, you know, they're one of the advantages of sort of practicing what you're doing. So once again, we're going to call on the truly Australian way of doing this on a Willow 25 litre cooler. Right, let's bring this in here and I'll show you how we do this. So these are just 3 different knots that you can use to join it, okay? Now, let's actually bring that in here like so. Rightio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Bimini Twist with 80-pound Andy. I'll only do about 20 loops in it just to make it easy. Whoops, come on, bud. Okay. I won't do 30 or whatever because we're not actually going to fish with this. Right. So, monofilament's a bit different. I've just wet my fingers with saliva and I'm just going to run that over the knot so that it takes a bit of the friction off it. The thing is with monofilament, fam, monofilament, when you tie a knot in it or twist it or whatever, it creates friction. Friction leads to heat, and then heat leads to failure. Unfortunately, usually when you've got the fish of a lifetime on, you know. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to wrap this Andy around these twists that I've put in the line. I'm actually going to cut that too, so it makes it easier. Right, let's put that in the twist in the line. So I don't know whether you can see that with the 80-pound Andy. What I'm doing is I'm just wrapping it around the loops that I've done in this whoops, come on, in this like loop that I've done. Okay, trying to concentrate and talk at the same time. So then what we do, same as before, we just lock that off there like that. Okay, lobbing off there like that. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll just finish it off with another simple hitch over both of the lines like that. I just do a little triple. Some people do a double. I just prefer a triple, just from experience. Right, so what this will do, this will bed back, right? And now what we have, see that, how we've set the knot? Okay, now don't try and worry about trying to make your knots look appealing like you see in the books and that sort of stuff. On thicker lines, it is really tough to do that, fam. As long as the knot holds, okay? As long as the knot holds, right, you should be fine. Now, chuck that there. G'day, mate, how are you, bud? Now, what you've got there now is you've got one Bimini Twist and another Bimini Twist, okay? What I do is I'll put the monofilament through the braid, or sometimes it's better, okay, depending on how you want to do it and go about it, okay, to put the braid through the mono. And what you've done there is if you effectively cross the loops over, then what you do is, so I'll do that again and show you, okay. So, you've got the, well, this is Dacron, but think of it as braid Bimini, right? And then you've got the monofilament Bimini. You put the braid loop through there, okay, and hang that down. See how it twists, right? Then what you do is you keep bringing the, let's do this again, right? You keep bringing the monofilament through the braid loop repeatedly, okay, like that. Then do it about, you can do it, I like to do it about 10 times, but usually with these thicker lines, right, 5 is enough, like that. Okay, bring that through again, like so, like that. And we'll just do one more to make it easier to see on the camera and that. We won't make it too much because obviously, you know, we're not going to be going fishing with this. This is just a demo. Right, but try and do it another 4 times. And then what we have is we have the 2 loops perfectly interwoven on each other. See that? Right. See how the 2 loops are perfectly interwoven? Then what it is, it's as simple as getting the tag ends, whoops, the same length, right? And with continual and even pressure, see how they're binding in on each other, right? But the key to that is you put the braid through the monofilament, not the other way around, right? Some people call that a cat's paw variation. I just call it a loop-to-loop join. This is like my Bimini double join, okay? Like so. Bring that down here, like this. And what you'll have is you'll have the monofilament and the braid gripping each other. It's very hard to form this knot on the really thick lines, but what we'll do is I'll just do that before I force it down. See how that's trying to work in on itself, right? So when you're tightening it, it's trying to unravel, okay? Thick line, it's very, very hard to do this. On the thicker lines, the double uni join's pretty good, okay? So let's get this sorted. Like that. I'll just get this out here. All right, so what we have there is we have even tag ends. So even if you were fishing with a fairly heavy rig like a 50 or an 80-pound fishing rod, this would still slide through the guides. And as you can see how the knot, you've got the monofilament, okay, and you've got the braid, sorry, the Dacron in this case, right, wrapping around each other. Oh, that's probably not a good angle. Let's just go there, right? Wrapping around each other properly, okay? You see how the monofilament's wrapped around the Dacron 5 times and the Dacron's wrapped around the monofilament 5 times, all right? And all that happens is the more you use it, the tighter and tighter and tighter that it latches onto itself, okay? With braid, if you were to do that with braid, I've had, for some stupid reason, when I've done a braid Bimini to a swivel, you do the cat's paw join, which I'll show you another time. This is like line to line connections. The actual the 30-pound braid becomes like 60-pound line for some reason. I don't know why. And we've done the test with the scales in the tackle trade before when I was working in the tackle trade when I was younger, and it's a very, very strange thing with braids. So if you're using 50-pound braid and you do a Bimini with a good join to a swivel, it'll actually become like 100-pound line. And we've proven that time and time again when we've been fishing out in the boats with the really big fish. And it's just a part of the braid that they don't really sort of mention. but you know, it's just that's just one of the characteristics of the line. Okay. Okay. Okay, so does anybody have any questions they need answered or anything like that? Okay, so is that working? Yeah, that is. Great. So any questions from anyone? Or did that all make sense? Just to give you an idea of how good that knot is, I've cut the monofilament off that. That's the fluorocarbon, and it still won't let go. Let's see if this does anything. So basically what's happened is I've yanked on the braid with a sudden movement there, and the monofilaments come off the top of the braid, so all good. It's almost like the chat's died. Right, there we go. So that's just a few ways on how I join braid to monofilament, and I've been using that same system for, like I said, about 30 odd years, and it's never let me down. So the only thing is, when you do the Bimini Twist and then you cross it over your monofilament, wrap it around 10 times, pull it through and tighten it so it wraps around. Just do yourself a little triple hitch at the end so it doesn't let go, okay? Or a couple of double hitches. Let's see if there's anything on here. I think I've still got a bait on there. Yeah, I think I've still got a bait on there, fam. Yep, you can see it's spinning in the water. Right, so. Oh, we've had a little bite, famo. That's good. Excellent, so there are a few of them out there, and as always, it misses the hook. That's great. The good thing about fishing this far upstream is we shouldn't get any toadfish, okay? It should just be brim, if there's one in there. All right, so let's leave that there, and away we go. Hey Cal, I thought the chat had stopped working. No, toadfish are blowfish. You know, the ones they're called toadfish here. So what they do is they're the ones that blow up like footballs. It's just that they're not edible, and they well, they just basically just chew up baits. No, chat's all good. Okay. Apparently, in streaming, if you're doing something live on stream and the chat goes silent, it means one of two things. Either you're doing something really interesting that's captivated someone's attention, or you've lost the chat. So thank you for that, fam. Really nice of you. Okay, I'm glad everybody enjoyed that. So does anybody have any questions on tying knots and joining braid to monofilament and all that sort of stuff? Is that a bird or a fish? What was that on the water? All right, there we go. So there we go. Now it's just a question of waiting and watching, really. And yeah, just seeing if we're going to get a bite. That sun's setting in the sky, and usually as the sun starts to lower. Oh, okay, so the water level here has dropped about another 2 feet on the bank, so we've got a low tide that's going out. That's not the best time to go fishing, but we have had bites on the low tide, fam. Now that's interesting. I cast out there and my bait's now down here, so that'll start swinging around in the current there, okay? An early season like this, famo, it is very difficult. You don't know where the ideal water conditions are. You don't know whether it's predominantly salt or fresh here. You've just got to turn up with a bait, your fishing rods and reels, and just try and cast it out and see what happens. So the other day we did get bites here. Then we had a couple of days of rain, so the fresh water could have pushed down further, right? And I thought with the day of hot weather, maybe some salt water would have pushed back up. But the only way you're ever going to find out is to come down here and have a cast and just see, you know, if what you think is going on is actually going on. So there we go. But one thing I will say with YouTube, famo, with the YouTube algorithm for live streaming, the picture quality is like chalk and cheese. This is unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Just the clarity of the pictures is beautiful. So I mean, look at the difference in that. Hey Aaron, how are you, mate? I certainly did, bud. Yeah, I pulled the pin on Twitch back in May. Really, I did one last stream, I think in June, Aaron. So I moved across to YouTube. Should have done a lot sooner, actually. Should have done it a hell of a lot sooner. Everything's stable, which is good. That's great. Thanks, ducks. Just scare every fish that's in here. Okay, so as always, we've just had a fish that's breached over there, fam. I think it might have been a sea mullet. So if that's a sea mullet over there, that's a good sign that we do have some salt water here, okay? So, hello, Mr. Duck. Hey there, Blue Wren Gaming. How are you, mate? No, I've had some of my bait taken on the small one, but it's been pretty quiet, mate. Like I said, we're sort of at the end of our winter, leading into spring, and I don't know whether this is predominantly fresh or salt here. So the fish move up and down with the water. So yeah, but unless you come out here and have a cast, you don't know. And what we did was we did a little segment on joining braid to monofilament. So hopefully that will work out for everyone that watches it. This is where we lost that really big fish that day, fam. I don't know whether it was a mulloway or a river whaler, but yeah, it headed straight for those snags. And I didn't have enough like grunt in the outfit I was using to turn its head, so very, very annoying. But that's all right. You live, you learn, and you come back and do it again. Jacob SGD, how are you, bud? You're up early? God, can't you sleep? We've got a bird in a tree over there eating the red gum flowers. It's a little grass parrot, the 28, not the grass parrot. And every once in a while, a fish will jump up out of the water and try and hit what's dropping down. Unfortunately, they're not liking the bait. I might have to get one of those those red gum flowers on here, I think. How are you, Jacob? How's work going, mate? What do you think of the clarity of the picture, Jacob? You think it's better? Thanks for that, Jacob. Oh. I don't think there's a partner out there that doesn't love flowers, is there, Aaron? Thanks, Jacob. I'm glad going to the toilet made you think of us, mate. So, yeah, I did, Jacob, I did. I thought you'd get woken up counting cougars or something, Jacob, you know. Let's just see if that's finished charging. That's pretty good. That's holding charge consistently, which is great. Thanks, Jacob. MW. It's a laugh a minute here, mate, and always at my expense. Can't wait to go back beach fishing again, Famo. It's been a long wait. Oh, it's unbelievable, Jacob, isn't it? You know, in 1080p, any slight variation in light, it actually gets picked up by the camera. It's unbelievable, you know. That's good. Morty, oh yeah, so I'm not in the picture. Yeah, no dramas. I can take a hint, Jacob. You know, don't let me get in your way and spoil your viewing pleasure. Ah, dear. Notice how I called that before you said it, Jacob, so it didn't count? TC Freer, how are you, mate? How you going, bud? I still haven't had a chance to check out that message you sent me on Twitter. I didn't realise like the battleships fraternity was like that. So, how are you, mate? I'm really sorry, crew. I can't give you a shout out on YouTube as they don't have the function on here yet. I think they're going to start doing clips and that sort of stuff. I'm really looking forward to that one. And yeah, how are you, mate? Thanks for your support on Twitter too, Freya. Okay. Right, so that was a fish. Thanks, mate. How's sunny old England going? Good? Hi, Aaron. Yeah, I do, but not at the moment, Aaron. For starters, this river is too murky, so hence we're just casting out a couple of baits and seeing what's around. And then what we'll do is, I think the river should clear up again, depending on the rain, if you know what I mean. Oh, good on you, Jacob. That's the way to get ahead in life, bud. Beautiful. So at the moment, we're just going to do a few streams in the river, just seeing what's around, you know, once we start getting some brim again. And then what we'll do is we'll move to the beach fishing. And then I've got a couple of really big fishing expeditions coming up where I'm going to try and get signal right? And when we get that signal, okay, then we're going to try and live stream from some quite remote areas, you know. But all good, we'll see how we go. We're going to spend a lot of time this year fishing, fam. Okay. Yeah, it's TC Freer. It's like the Bible, mate. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights. And I thought, well, that's winter in Scotland, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like it's a big deal. Oh, thanks, mate. How's your streaming going? Are you still getting good numbers? I didn't realise the battleships gaming and that was so political, if you know what I'm saying. Like, I suppose most games are, but you wouldn't think the battleships was so... yeah, you wouldn't think battleships was so, like, clicky. Is that the Cincinnati Reds, Jacob? Is that your baseball team there? Is it the Cincinnati Reds? Or not? That camera's picking up everything. Okay. And is the Texas team the Texas Rangers? Okay. Texas, oh, Houston Astros. Yeah, thank you, TC Freer, and I hope you have a great stream today, mate. Most of my brim fishing... See you, Jacob. Thanks for coming in, mate. Most of my brim fishing in the early days was sitting in the car, waiting 5 or 10 minutes, then going out and checking line through all the like pelting rain and that sort of stuff. Oh dear. Hey, Jacob, just out of interest, when was the last time the Cincinnati Reds won the World Series? Just because apparently every single team has a time that they've done it. So when was the last time you celebrated a victory? Lockie Law, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Tough gig against the Hawks, pal. A draw. Did you guys make the 8? I haven't checked the ladder at all this year. All I know is north, the bottom, and we're staying there. $19.90. Oh, a long time between drinks, 31 years, wow. It's a bit like North Melbourne. The last time we won it was 98, I think. No, 99. You're out of the finals. Wow, that's not good. Yeah, it's funny how teams seem to have ebbs and flows with football, isn't it? Oh, I mean, you were the team to beat for quite a long time, Lockie. What was your unbeaten run at home? Wasn't it something phenomenal like 30 or 40 games or something? You got to give someone else a chance, mate. Oh, that's okay, mate. Don't worry about it, mate. You've got a premiership. It was a long wait. Do you know that North Melbourne played Richmond in a grand final in 1974, Lockie? I think I can even remember the score. Was it 18-20 to 13-8 or something? But yeah, North Melbourne played Richmond in the grand final in 1974 and absolutely pumped us. But that's all right. We beat, I think we beat the Hawks the next year. We played 5 in a row. Beat the Hawks the next year, then the Hawks got us. Then we beat the Pies. And then I think the Hawks got us again. And then I think was it 79? I can't remember. Yeah, 75, 77 and 79 I think we won. Oh, it's just nice to chill out next to a river and just relax. Oh dear, just nice to chill out and relax, mate. Are you in lockdown at the moment, Lockie, or you guys and the girls safe over there, or? The hell was that? It's a fairly big splash. How long are you in lockdown for, mate? This time, is it a week, 2 weeks, or? Thanks, Gavin. You too, mate. I hope you're well too, bud. Anything interesting happening on the old platform, mate, worth mentioning, or? Okay, the witching hour is upon us. Let's see. I need to come down here one night and do a night fishing stream, famo. The only problem is it's going to be mosquito central. Oh, I hear you, mate. And that's not too bad, mate. At least it's consistent. Hey, check this out, famo. Is that the dolphin? Here he is. We've got the dolphin coming up the river. Check this out. Hey, bud. He's feeding just down in here. Look at this. Can you see him just down in there through those branches? He's chasing something in the river. Let's try and get a better look at him there. Or her, whoever. Now see down there, just through here, right? There was the dolphin just there. Here he is. See him? He must be chasing food up the river. They get quite spectacular. He is trying to herd something. He or she is trying to herd something into the shallows there. Come on, mate. I wonder if he's going to come up this far. Usually they tend to hang out on the fringe and sort of only go to where the fresh is meeting the salt. Here he is, just in here, fam. Check this out. Down near our bait. Look, there he is, or she, just there. See there they go. See across the other side of the river? This thing is miles from the salt. There it is there. See, look. It'll come up and breathe in a second. Here we go. See that big V? There he is. That's, oh, which one's that one? I know the shape of the fin. Check that out. I'll have to report that. That's not a good sign for fishing though. Oh, they do. They do. This is, we're about what? Oh, I would say, oh, a good, I would say we're a good, oh, I don't know, a long way upstream, famo. Yeah, we're a long way upstream, so I think they're going to start cutting off access to powerised boats in here eventually, just to protect the dolphins and that sort of stuff. But yeah, he's just gone up around the corner there. I actually have the full, like, glossary index of the different fins of the dolphins. Oh, here he is, he's coming down. Oh, wow, check this out, he's feeding. Look at this. They get quite animated. Yeah, that's right, Sith. It's his environment, mate, not ours. So not really up to us, you know, we can't do anything. So he's hunting in that corner. Maybe the next time I'll go and fish in there. Hang on, I'll show you. There he is. Yep, so he's herded up some fish in the side there. I don't know whether you can see it. Remember when I said to you before I thought that I saw sea mullet up here? I think that's what he's coming up to chase. He's just in here on the side, feeding on something in the shallows there. He'll probably start heading back this way soon. Well, it can't be that. There he is, just in there. See in there? There's that little ripple where he's hunting in here. See, look, just in there. And he's heading back down the river. So they're going to start heading back towards us. There we go. Yep, he's just in there. Let's go up for a walk. I'll leave the phone here. I'll get you to keep an eye on it, Loey. All right. So let's just go for a little walk in here. Yeah, there he is. See all those surface ripples? That must be the limit of the salt and the fresh where it becomes a bit too much. Look at the blue and yellow in that water spectrum, fam, that this ultra note is picking up that my naked eye can't pick up. Unbelievable. The quality of this is just unbelievable. Look at that. Here he is. Hear him? There we are. Now, see him in there? He's hunting and herding. So what he did is he went up the other side of the river and he cut that school of fish off, and then he turned into him, and then he turned back around. So, and once again on low tide. I need to remember that. Here he is. We're not going to see any fish while the dolphin's here, fam. Okay? Look at the blues and the yellows and everything from the sunlight in that water. That is unbelievable. YouTube is so much better. There he goes. Just in here. He's just herding all the fish into this little cove in here. He's swimming around right to left and then he's hitting them in the cove. There he is, just in there. See, look. Yep. Sometimes they get quite animated when they're hunting, famo. Right, let's just lean on here. There we go. Hello, mate. That's at the full digital zoom, so it's probably not very clear. But they always seem to make their way up here to where the river bends sort of left to right. So what they'll do is they'll come down that side of the river, herding all the fish into this side, and then they'll do a sharp left and they cut them off, you know. There he is. Interesting. We'll turn that around. Whoops. We'll just wait for him to come back. So, yeah, I'm going to have to mention that to the DDC, I think, because that's a hell of a long way upriver. That is such a long way upriver. It's, I would say, I think would be an easy 20 k's from the coast. So maybe more even. Oh yeah, and bull sharks can go further. bull sharks can go further, Sith. So, and I mean, dolphins are mammals like us. So they breathe air like we do. Have any of you gone onto YouTube and watched those killer whale videos, mate? Oh yeah, they travel absurd distances in estuarine waterways, Sith. Just so we would be, wow, I'll have to measure that. It's a pity the DDC aren't here with their drones, you know. Wow. That could be another reason why we haven't caught anything today. Because, and usually if they're up here feeding, from all accounts, they're actually not doing too well, you know, because what'll happen is when you've got the winter and the rain flushes out the fresh water, it pushes the salt water back, and it removes their available you know, habitat and feeding grounds and that sort of stuff. But that goes right. Yeah, I know exactly how far it is. I've got to report that. In the US, they've gone up the Mississippi to Illinois. How far is that, Coho? Hello, baby blue from heaven. How are you, mate? Welcome. Oh, Cal, don't worry, mate. You're not the only one. I don't even like being on a kayak in a river. About all the way from the south to the north of the US. Wow. I hope your parents are well too, baby blue. And your dad's back to full health. That's not a chainsaw starting. That's the noise of a duck here that's got a really big throat. 1,339 kilometres. My word. That's Albany to Geraldton. Inland. My word. And they are nasty, Cal. Seriously, they are nasty. If there's ever an animal that has a chip on its shoulder and it doesn't mind showing it, it is a bull shark, sir. Wow. Is it what? Oh, cats are like that, baby blue. Very selfish critters, the old cats. Oh, Cal, and understandably, mate, you know, the biggest one I've seen in this stretch of river here was a bull shark that was up to about 8 feet, fam. It was huge. Just looked like a black submarine, you know, with the black dorsal fin. And just, it was chasing dolphins as well. That was nearly bad that day. Duck, I've got my baits there, do you mind? Oh no. How big's your cat if it hurt your foot? Have you got a pet tiger or something? It's a rather large animal. A friend of mine years ago had 3 cats and he dislocated his collarbone playing field hockey, and all his cats went and laid on him and purred trying to make him heal. It was unbelievable. Apparently that's what they do when they try and heal, they'll purr. So, you know, it was just like, yeah, animals never cease to amaze me. Yeah, me too, mate. But, you know, you've got to respect people's wishes that like cats. You can't really throw a tennis ball to a cat. Do you know what I mean? We're a dog, yeah. And plus, I mean, you know, years ago when I worked at a service station in Perth, we have a road that goes from Scarborough Beach to Midland. It goes from Scarborough Beach Road to Karrinyup Road, and then it goes to a T-junction. There was a guy that got caught by the police that had a map of every single house on that stretch of road for however many Ks it was. And everywhere there was a dog, they put a cross on the house and it had "Do Not Burgle" written on the map. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, you know? I mean, unless you had a guard cat like a pet tiger or a lion, which is highly impractical, but hey, stranger things have happened. Yeah, that's right, Paul, you know? So is everybody looking forward to going back to the beach fishing streams, famo? I am. I can't wait to throw a line in the water, either tomorrow or Tuesday, whichever day it is. Just take the 4-wheel drive out, get some salt onto the tyres and just enjoy it. And we get to test our new streaming equipment, fam. Yep. Rock on. Go away, Mozzie. Oh, really, Cal? Oh, we'll need to get yours into an attack cat. Excuse me. Oh, sugar. Have you seen some of those really large domesticated cats that people have? I don't even know the name. It looks like a little leopard. And yeah, the things sit about that high. They're bigger than any Russian blue cat that I've seen. On my granddad's farm, he had a Russian blue. You have an attack cat. She just got out of kitty jail for biting someone in your home. No, it's not a lynx. It's like a proper domestic cat, Jacob, but it's smaller than a lynx and like bigger than the bigger of the domestic cats. It's huge. So, Paul, it's all relative, mate. River fishing has its difficulties. Like, for starters, I don't have any idea where the fresh and the salt are meeting. So whereas the dolphins going upstream, you would think that there's a bit of salt, but, you know, they breathe air, so to speak. So I don't know, mate. It's all relative. You know, if you go fishing at the beach when there's strong southwesterlies, it makes it difficult, you know. So, yeah, it's all relative. Freshwater fishing, I find freshwater fishing and estuary fishing usually the most challenging. Saltwater fishing from the beach is good, and even saltwater fishing from the boat, you usually do okay in the boat, you know what I mean? So it just depends to match your rock fishing. Yeah, now rock fishing's tough, Paul, but it's still saltwater. You usually have a good chance of catching something, you know, when you rock fish, you know what I mean? So Mountain lions in Central Texas. I did see something on YouTube about that. You were in Austin. There was an alert to not let your... Yeah, half your luck, mate. Andrew, g'day, mate. When I lived in Austin, there was an alert not to let your small dog outside by itself. It might get eaten. Wow. Were you fishing a dam or the river, Superman? Yeah, it is, Andrew. The algorithm for live streaming on YouTube is so much better. I mean, we've just got the ultranote camera filming everything, but it's picking up everything. It's picking up, you know, changes in light, changes. See how it's auto-focusing all the time? Unbelievable. Coho, not much. What I'm hoping is that there's a few of the, for some reason in the winter, a lot of your snapper and even Western Australian jewfish come in close to shore. So I'm hoping tomorrow or Wednesday or Tuesday, whatever day it is we go out there, we're able to hook into some more snapper from the beach again, mate. You know, I know one spot that I was in the boat that I tracked on the GPS that I can fish from the shore. Last time we were there, we got a 50 centimetre pink snapper from the shore. Guys have been going out there at night. The old chicken trick. No, Andrew, not on Twitch at the same time, mate. Just on YouTube. We don't stream on Twitch anymore, bud. Yeah, we don't stream on Twitch anymore. The old chicken trick. What'd you do there, pal? Use chicken for bait? Really? Wow. I used, my favourite silver brim bait for the big ones is chuck steak. You know, like the diced steak that you used to make casseroles with? Oh no, that's old news, Andrew. I left in June, mate. So, no, May or June. I did my last stream in June, I think. So, yeah, just don't like the direction that the platform's heading in, mate. Our partnership goes back on the 23rd of December by mutual agreement. So, all good. And I can assure you that when it's back, chicken on a hook, feathers and everything, or just the meat? Is it true? Is it true that that it's better to fish? Rod McKenzie. No, I haven't, Superman. Yeah, oh, that's... And when the partnership's back, I've got some very interesting streams planned, fam. I'll give you the tip. Oh, the gloves are off when that happens. I'll be surprised if we get a bite today, famo. Straight up, after seeing the dolphin, right, and the fact that nothing's stirred, and we've got a falling tide, it's not looking good. Oh, really? Yeah, in WA, we get really big silver brim in the ocean. So, yeah, I use red meat for silver brim. They seem to love it. The biggest silver brim I ever got was about 22 inches, something huge. It was like a snapper. And, yeah, that was on steak. Love using steak. Oh, sorry about the bot, Superman. I think so, Paul. Oh, there's a cap span. I need to sort out. I don't know how it works on YouTube, crew. What did Cal say there? Yeah, people have told me on stream that to catch Murray cod, your full moon's the best time to go. Whereas here we get nothing. As soon as there's a full moon, it's for us in the freshwater here with the perch and the trout, the new moon is the best time to go. You know, we don't have any native fish in WA, unfortunately, as much as I'd like to be able to hook into a Murray cod. That's criminal. Really? Okay. So what sort of rig do you fish? And which river, if you don't mind me asking, Superman? Was it the Murray, the Murrumbidgee? You got any other places? Do you get, this might sound like a silly question, but remember I'm a West Aussie. Do you get Murray cod as far north as New South Wales or not? Or are they only strictly in Victoria and South Australia? Excellent. Thank you, baby blue. Runs through Tamworth. Hey, Penny Basher, how are you, bud? In the Peel River. Okay. We have the Peel Inlet down here. That's where a lot of people go crabbing for the blue manners. Up around Dubbo. Okay. Aren't you in lockdown though, Superman? How'd you go out fishing if you're in lockdown, matey? New South Wales in full lockdown. Did you sneak out, did you? Hope you're safe in that lockdown over there, Penny Basher. It's classed as recreational. Oh, okay. Interesting. I thought the whole state was in lockdown, mate. And you got pounced on if they caught you outside. No? Oh, only Sydney. Locked up with the wife and 2 kids. You poor bugger. Mate, we had a 5-day regional lockdown and we were just at each other's throats nearly. Probably wasn't too... No, yeah, probably was. How do you keep them occupied, pal? Yeah, Scythiorel, don't take this the wrong way, mate, and don't be offended, but it's amazing how a lot of Aussies, you know, are just sort of copying what's going on overseas. And, yeah, very interesting, you know. Well, definitely no fishing this afternoon with the dolphin around. Well, apparently Chinese media is pulling the piss out of Australian media and the police for the way they're handling the COVID. I don't get that. Oh, you missed heading to Port Stephens to your holiday house 3 days before the lockdown started. Oh, no. Oh, you wouldn't be annoyed with that much, would you? Oh, God. Wow. Port Stephens is legendary, Penny, isn't it? I don't know, Superman. I only watched it on this YouTube thing. I don't even know whether there's any merit to it, you know. You don't always believe what you see. No, Superman, I'm going to go for the Pfizer jab in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I've heard the few things about the AstraZeneca. But, yeah, in a couple of weeks, mate. They've only just really sort of started hammering it here. Stockton Beach, I'll have a look at that. That's funny because on the East Coast there's a Stockton in New York, isn't there? Well, that's good. That's right, Superman. The Zeneca knocked you on your ass for 2 days. Oh, mate, yeah, I don't want to take the Zeneca. I've heard so many bad reports about the Zeneca, mate. It is just, yeah, dreadful. And then you heard how a couple of people died from blood clots from the Zeneca. That was terrible as well. Hey, Planet Hunter, how are you, matey? I'm just using some Western Australian pilchards, Hunter. So what it is, we're at the tail end of winter. We had a bit of rain over the last couple of days, but today it was a bit hotter. So I thought I'd just come down here and just cast out a bait and see what's around. We've just had a dolphin swim up the middle of the river, right over our baits, really. So, yeah, I'm just waiting. We had a couple of bites the other day. Then we had some more rain, and I think the fresh water sort of pushed down again. And then with the hot weather, it's sort of pushed up again. And usually with the dolphin here, that's a pretty good sign that it's sort of reasonably salty. Oh, he's still got the second shot to go. Interesting. Okay. Look, people, if you're new to the YouTube channel, please just click on that subscribe button for free and turn your notifications on. We're going to be doing some solid fishing streaming. The second fires, it knocks you around a bit. Oh, wow, okay. A lot of people over here said that the first one does and the second one's not too bad. And please go and check out our other videos on the channel. We're trying to get partnered on YouTube. We've already been partnered on Twitch, but we've left that platform and we're, by mutual agreement, handing our partnership back. So, yeah, it would be greatly appreciated as we only have about 3,300 hours to go before we're partnered on YouTube. So, all good. It's also good cod bait, Hunter. I know lots of people that use the chicken for trout, redfin and all that sort of stuff as well, but I've never done that. I just like to use lures, you know. And even like the pork crackle, some people even use pork crackle for bait as well. So it's just nice to be able to go out to the river and just chill out, you know. Just sit there, listen to all the different birds. The odd dolphin swims up. Doesn't matter if we don't catch anything, you know. We'll get one next time. Not everything's a competition, you know, famo. Just going to check the bit rate again. Lovely. Fantastic, fam. With the old modem, okay, with the old modem, we would have cut out about 4 times by now. But with this new modem, with all the upgrades and that sort of stuff, everything's going really well. So what it is, we've got a really overcast day today. On the old modem, on overcast days, we would have a problem trying to get signal. So, yeah, all good. SX, how are you, mate? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, that's right, Superman. The water here, you can only see that far underneath it. Even at the Bustleton Jetty with all the rain and the storms we've been having, visibility's like 30 centimetres, right? Mike of Boulder, how are you, mate? Nice to see Mod City here. Sorry about that, Mike. I've got to sort out the Streamlabs bot, mate. We added it to the stream. Okay. So, yeah, once everything cleans up a bit, then we'll start using soft plastics. And we'll be going down to a spot where we'll be able to use some saltwater fly as well. So, looking forward to that. Yeah, good SX. All good fun, mate. The way we're going, we should be partnered on YouTube by the end of September, hopefully, if all goes well. So, you know, which is a big shock to me because I thought we'd be lucky to be partnered by the end of the year, you know. So, all in all good fun. Yeah, I've actually caught Murray cod in Western Australia, Superman, and I've actually caught yellow belly in Western Australia. Thanks, mate. How you going? You still on the old platform, or? I think, Mike, you guys are from Mod City, aren't you, from memory? Yeah, it is, Ross. I was quite shocked, you know. I thought 4,000 hours, wow. So I started off just streaming the little 30-second and 1 minute clips from the old platform. It wasn't too big. They guessed it at about 4 kilo, just a small one. It was up in north of Perth years ago towards York. There was a farm that got a license from fisheries to stock native fish species. So they had silver perch, yellow perch, Murray cod, all sorts of stuff in there, you know. Kyron, oh, okay, mate. Yeah, it wasn't too big. It was only about yay big. I nearly hooked it on saltwater fly. It kept hitting it, and I think I had too long a leader, but then I used a shorter leader, it wouldn't hit. So I used longer leader and it hit, and I couldn't hook it up. Nothing, Penny Basher. I think it's just the algorithm for YouTube. On the old platform, it's almost as if they had a blanket over everything, you know, and nothing was really... it was always so bright and that, and really clearly defined. So as soon as we started on YouTube, yeah, that's right, Superman. Oh, I don't know, SX. I'm not doing anything like that. Obviously, I don't know about it. I don't know enough about it, mate. I'll have to find out once we get partnered. But the good thing about this stream is there's no sort of, you know, I mean, there's no sound alerts, there's no, you know, sub alerts or anything like that, you know, and it's just pure content. So it's us and our environment, you know. I forgot to use that hashtag pure content, damn it. So, Superman, I've actually made some Murray cod spinnerbaits. I'll show you live on... Oh, that's right, SX. Oh, you're onto it, mate. Well done. You're onto it. Yeah, I got a PS5 a while ago, SX, and I added Kyron as a friend. So I want my rematch. He absolutely... That's my claim to fame, okay? I scored a goal against Kyron FC live on stream. That was hilarious. The poor bugger was fuming. And then I would think he put 6 past me in 15 minutes and fell asleep. Yeah. So the spinnerbaits that I have, Superman, you can actually use them for Murray cod or muskies in America. They're about yay long. They have the trebles that you use with the Papuan black bass. They have a 2-ounce body. Oh, he's really good. Oh, he is good, mate. Okay. He is good. He's a good kid. I think, you know, there should be more streamers like Kyron. Good to see an Aussie doing well. Fishing Australia. Really, Planet Hunter? That's interesting. Yeah, the algorithm's different on YouTube, fam. With the YouTube algorithm, the more you're on here, the more you get found. You don't necessarily have to be partnered. Where are you from, Planet One Hunter? Are you from Australia or America, or are you in Europe? And people, if you are new, please don't forget to subscribe, okay? And I'd really appreciate it if you went and checked out some of our, other videos. We have 123 videos on the stream, whoops. And, you know, it would be greatly appreciated if you could check out some of our previous content. So we've had a lot of our clips from the old platform. I'm thinking of doing a, like a restream at one stage, but I'll need to figure that out beforehand. So, need to figure out how to get all the paraphernalia off it, you know. Oh, it's okay, mate. Welcome. Oh. Thank you, Mike. I greatly appreciate that, bud. Mike, are you across from Mod City? Thank you very much for the subscription, mate. And that's the good thing about YouTube too, fam. It costs you nothing to sub, you know what I mean? Well, fam, the only way we're going to get a fish, I think, is if the dolphin heads back downstream. It hasn't come back, so God knows how far upstream it's gone. But that's what they'll do. This is only what I've been told. If they're not doing too well in the inlet, they'll push right upstream, trying to herd fish and corral fish up the river. And then they'll come back down again following all the fish. And when I saw a heap of fish on the surface there before, I thought they were sea mullets, so, you know. Oh, okay, Mike, I remember the username, Mike of Boulder. That's why I asked, mate. Oh, SX, wow. And from experienced, yeah, 07, mate. Yeah, seriously, like, yeah, may, you know, may rest in peace, people, but Simon, I only met him once in my life, but we, you know, kept in touch over the phone after Fraser, and that guy did so much for me. Unbelievable, you know. So, yeah. Now he's at peace, the poor bugger. I invited him over to Western Australia. I said, Simon, bring Daisy and little mate over, you know. And he goes, oh, I'm not well enough, Jim, otherwise we would. And I thought, oh, that's pretty serious. So, yeah, he's a good guy. Thanks for the subscription, Mike. I really appreciate that, mate. And we're going to be doing the same content that we did on the old platform. And Simon, Shook's manager, Superman, he passed away, I think it was January. No, he passed away. Oh, I can't remember, mate. I got pretty stressed over that because, you know, he was younger than me and I've had heart surgery. And I'm still here, and you know, he's not, and fuck, I just couldn't believe it. Absolutely massive shock, mate. Yeah, rolling 07. Vault, how are you, mate? Hello, puppy. G'day, mate. Hello, gorgeous. What are you doing? You going out for a walk with Mum? Hey? Oh, they always do when they want to get their own way, mate. And like, you know, 4 tyres that haven't been weed on is like a pizza to a pisshead at 4 in the morning for a dog. Hello, little fella. What's your name? Come on, you better go with Mum over there. Go on. Nala, okay. There it is. See ya. Have a lovely day. Oh, dear. Yeah, there was a little Jack Russell. It was actually an old Jack Russell that's got as much grey on its beard as me. Getting old, fam. The body's slowing down. Starting to get bingo wings and bingo armpits. It's terrible. You know, I bought one of those little sit-up things you can put under a door the other day from Aldi. I've done more sit-ups in 7 days than I've done in 7 years. I tell you. Oh, they're funny, mate. Jack Russells are hilarious. There was a guy at a markets that I used to do years ago. He crossed a Jack Russell with a Shih Tzu, so he could call it a Jack Shit. That was as funny as, oh, God. And he'd see me go, what breed's your dog again? And he'd always tell everyone, you know. That's exactly right, Loey, the presenter. And then at the same market, there was a guy that used to walk along with his wife and this little dog, like seriously, it would fit in the palm of my hand. And he walked past one day and I went, oh, you need to muzzle that, mate. And he looked at me and his wife, oh, tell me about it, Paul. I'm still trying to recover from our 5-day lockdown here. That's, I don't know, Superman. I lose weight when I go to the toilet, but anyway. And anyway, so he's walking along with this little dog and seriously could fit in the palm of the hand. And I went, oh, mate, you need to muzzle that. And his wife's there. And he goes, yeah, I need to get one for the dog as well. And she's like leant back and gone, ooh, you know, and he's like, oh. And we just went, shit. We were sitting there just going, every time she walked past after that, g'day, hang on, yeah, I'll see you. You take that for free, just don't hit me, you know. And just that sound of, you had 2 Jack Russell. Wouldn't see them for a few days. Yeah, ferrets are like that too, or dus, or how, I can't remember how to pronounce it. But ferrets are like that too. They have to smoke them out because they'll find some baby rabbits and just start gnawing on them, you know. Jack Russells have got a lot of personality though. They can be little bastards, but they're very, very funny. Working at markets is a great way to get people skills, fam. You know, you get to meet all walks of life and you have to interact with them. And each person you interact with is like a different experience, you know. And Jackie's in a boxer. Oh, boxers are funny. When I worked at my mate's pizza store, there was this little boxer dog they called Pugsley. And it used to sit there on its 2 back legs and beg, and just the drool that had come out from its jowls when people walked out with the pizza. And we were like, oh, Pugsley, not again, mate. And you'd go and give him a piece and he'd disappear. Funniest dog, you know. And they look so sad, you know. Boxers look so sad, fam. Oh, yeah, my dog was 14 when I lost mine, Essex. Oh, I still can't get over that. So clucky for another dog. The stability of the YouTube platform in comparison to the old one is chalk and cheese, fam. This is sensational. I don't know whether it's because there aren't obviously as many people that live stream on YouTube, but you know, this is fantastic. The quality of that picture is sensational. Nothing, you know. Mike, thanks for that suggestion of the thumbs up too, mate. Oh, really? Yeah, Rotties are an interesting... I think Rottweiler is German for non-stop appetite. I got one given to me by a friend, which, anyway, long story there. And, man, that thing, you'd walk out with an apple, right? You'd go and open the gate, and next thing you know, there's this massive head, just, and then just onto the apple. It's like, can I have the fucking apple back, you know? And unbelievable. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Loey. And with the Rottweilers too, the European Rottweilers are like the German Shepherds. They're more or less all nearly jet black, whereas the American ones and the Aussie ones are a lot more tan on them. They seem to say that for the hotter climate as well. Renee, not yet, mate. Yeah, Essex, I agree with you, mate. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming on YouTube. My main issue from the transition from the old one is getting the equipment to work. So now that we've got that stable, and I've invested a lot of time in research and also a lot of money in equipment in the last 3 months, fam. We have got... I have done, mate. It's just that we're in winter. Right, I've caught quite a few fish here, but not in the last 3 trips. Like I've said to everyone, we're in winter, okay? Normally this is a safe bet to catch a fish, but I don't know how far the fresh is pushed down and the salts come back up. Hey, the dolphin's coming back, fam. Here he is. He's planet once in a blue moon, bud. Once in a blue moon. Here he is, or she, whichever one it is. I think this dolphin's a he. So if you just look down through here, famo, there's a dolphin just coming through the river here. Okay, and thanks for the support, fam. 20 people in here, now 19. Thank you very, very much. Now, where is it? It's probably going to just meander around the corner. It's still hunting as it goes along. There it is, see? Here it comes. I'll just use the digital zoom. Just in there was the last, whoops. Here it is, it's just heading out. Oh shit. Sorry for the superlatives. It's just heading out to the left there. Okay, it always seems to follow the same pattern when it heads down the river here. I think it's just holds some fish up in the corner. Here we are. It'll just start to come through here now. I'm 60 feet away from the car, fam, and I've still got full Wi-Fi. Unbelievable. In the old one, 5 feet gone. Came and done its shopping with the wife and kids. They've had a cappuccino, you know. Now they're heading back to put everything in the fridge before they go home, fam. Kids have had their ice creams. They're all happy. Must have gone into the shallows again. It's going to head back past us in a minute anyway, fam, so, you know, it's good. Just nice to be out in nature, all the different birds, you know. Doesn't faze me if we don't catch fish, we'll get one next time. You know, it's not a competition, you know what I mean? When the dolphin comes past, hey Sapper, how are you, bud? Yeah, they are SX. Jigsaw, how are you? Oh, here it is. Straight down the middle of the river, fam. There it goes. Here it is. Come on, mate. I'll zoom right in on it. Hey, bud. Right there, see? Just in there. I'm going to show this to the DDC tomorrow. Hello, mate. Oh, that's a big one. Be interesting to see which fin this is. If we can identify the fin and see the fin, we'll know which dolphin it is, fam. Now that just dived right under. Let me just open that up. I'll get them to identify it tomorrow. It's just in here, I think. Oh, he moved. Oh, you cheeky bugger. Let me just get in here. Mate. I recognise the fin. The fin's fairly unblemished and it's got a bit of a hook in it compared to the others. Like, it's not damaged. A lot of the dolphin fins in the waterway and in the rivers, fam, are damaged from shark attacks. So, you know, they cop an absolute hammering in here. There it is. It's just gone off down there. I'm going to go onto the website and identify that one. Yeah, good Sapper. I jinxed it too. I just went out of the range. I went from there to like there and I saw it just drop. I went, ugh, but that was about 4 times the distance we got with the old one. That night we were doing the night fish and we hooked that, was it either mulloway or the shark? I think it was a mulloway though. And we also hooked... No, Mike, I'm in Western Australia, mate. We've had one lockdown the whole time of COVID, and that was just a regional lockdown. Yeah, our Premier got onto it straight away, mate. You know, border control and all that sort of stuff, so... A long way, Paul. Oh, I would say, easily 20 miles. Easily 20 miles, Paul. It's a long way from the ocean, mate. That's why I was shocked. I thought, nah, this has got to be mainly fresh, you know, so. What about you, Mike? Have you had to lock down, bud? Oh, okay, Sterlo. Can I call you Sterlo, Aaron, or does he just want me to call you Aaron? No. Okay, you're lucky, mate. Is that Boulder, Colorado, or? Just excuse Oh wow, it's 25 to 6. I can assure you, crew, the light on this camera and the picture that you see on the camera is a lot lighter than what it actually is. Oh wow. What's your J&J shot and test, Mike? Is that like a COVID thing or? Oh, Johnson & Johnson. Oh, okay. Yeah. Do we have Johnson & Johnson shot in Australia, crew, or is it just the AstraZeneca and the Pfizer? Okay. Right. Okay. Well, Famo, yet again, defeat. But that's all right. Takes a while. Your second dose of Pfizer was brutal. Wow. Okay. Only one shot, not two. Okay. Yeah, my biggest problem is, fam, if I have the flu shot, I'm out for a week. Seriously, I had the like influenza shot. Phew, knocked me fair and square on my bottom. Just no, the bait has been chewed slightly, nothing too much though, so I'm just guessing really small fish. Yeah. Now, for those of you in chat who are into football, as in association football, and SX, this might be of interest. We have some members in the community who wanted to see a little bit of gaming. So what I've done is I've started a Carlisle United career mode on the PS5. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened, but I lost most of the career mode. So I've started up another one. So I'm going to put up a fresh video tonight, and then I'm going to start putting one up every day until the new FIFA 22 is out. So if there's anyone that's interested in that sort of content, it'd be greatly appreciated if you could just, you know, click on it and let it play out, because the sooner we get to 4,000, the sooner we get to Carlisle United SX. They're the closest team to the Scottish border, and I think Cumbria was part of Scotland. Yeah, but I wanted to do a really tough one, and I wanted to pick a team away from the north, and what we're doing is we're going to try and get them to the Champions League. We want to get Scotland to the World Cup and Euros. Oh, Socrates, he was my favourite midfielder. I thought he was better than Zico, but two different types of players. And yeah, so it'd be greatly appreciated, you know, even if you just turned it on and just watched it and left it playing, fam. Any time that gets put to it just goes to our tally. And I mean, the sooner that we get to 4,000 hours on YouTube and we get partnered, the better, you know. So, yeah, it'd be greatly appreciated. That's going to go up tonight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one a day leading up to the FIFA 22. And I've still got to do this comparison stream on the PS5 and an old arcade console. They have pros and cons for both. But, yeah, it's really interesting. So, and seriously, people, if you think the PS4 is a really good console, wait till you get the PS5. Unbelievable. What the hell's that? Oh, a bit of gunk. Get off there. That's better. This is the same rod and reel that I caught that yellowfin tuna on in the boat, fam. Rightio. Not a single bite today, famo. Not a one-er. Xbox. Oh, really, SX? Okay, well, I mean, I said to this the nacho pants before, stripping your garden out for summer in December. No, Cal, I did have it on PC as well. Socrates, yeah, what a legend. He was unbelievable, mate, in that World Cup. Oh. So, Mike of Boulder, we usually turn our garden over in August, September for the summer. So we can actually start like preparing our garden and plants now. So I've just smashed all the grasses down that came up in the winter. I'm just gonna, no, forget last cast till it's over, Loey, right? We're just gonna start turning everything over back into the ground, and away we go. All right, fam, thank you very much for tuning in. Like I said, if you're new to the stream, please subscribe for free. Turn your notifications on. And if you feel like putting it on autoplay and playing, you know, different videos and that sort of stuff, that'd be greatly appreciated. So the sooner we get partnered, the better. And, you know, it's going to be nice to be able to say that we've been partnered on 2 platforms, you know. So, look, thank you very, very much for tuning in. We'll be streaming in tomorrow at some stage, right? And I'll be going through... Hunter, herring in Western Australia is one of the most, if not the most popular fish that we fish for. So, thanks, Mike. And, thank you. And I'll be doing a lot of herring fishing streams, probably tomorrow or the day after, mate. Yeah, sorry, Mike. I got this Streamlabs bot, mate. So what we'll do is we'll just finish off with a nice little view of the river, okay? So once again, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate all your support. And the best way to support is watch the stream. And I'll see you all tomorrow. So, as I said, if you're interested in association football or soccer, I'll be doing or starting the first episode of the proper... like career mode. I don't even know how I deleted all the memory on there, actually. You know, thinking, I mean, but my record with technology is sensational. Just don't ask any of the mods that. All right, stay safe, stay well, be the best person you can be every day, and I'll see you soon. And thank you very, very much for the support. It is greatly appreciated, people. It's really good of you to give up your time to come in and watch the stream.